Next week on Coronation Street, Leanne Battersby, Jane Danson, finds herself at a crossroads as she receives an unexpected piece of advice from an unlikely source. The turmoil in her life continues to unfold, following her vendetta against her ex-husband Nick Tilsley, Ben Price, and her sister, Toya Battersby, Georgia Taylor, after discovering their secret reunion and affair last year. Leanne's need for revenge led her down a dark path, culminating in a plot to frame Nick and Toya for fraud. However, things took a disastrous turn when a confrontation at the police station led to a public altercation. Both Leanne and Toya were briefly held on suspicion of assaulting an officer, and Leanne's scheme backfired spectacularly. Following the fallout, Nick sought to clear his name, and in the process, uncovered CCTV footage showing that Leanne had been using two phones, which led to her arrest. She was eventually released pending further investigation, but the damage to her relationships, especially with Nick, Toya, and her former stepson Sam Blakeman, Jude Riordan, was already done. Sam, in particular, vowed to disown Leanne when he found out the truth about her involvement in the scheme, leaving Leanne isolated and facing an uncertain future. However, next week, there's a glimmer of hope for Leanne as she attempts to repair her relationship with Sam. In an attempt to reconnect, she takes him for a milkshake in the cafe. Despite her efforts, Leanne's bitterness toward Nick and Toya resurfaces as she makes disparaging remarks about the pair. Sam, uncomfortable with the negativity, pretends to have received a text from Nick and excuses himself from the situation, leaving Leanne feeling more isolated than ever. It's then that Leanne is approached by none other than Tracy Barlow, Kate Ford, her former rival in love. Tracy, who knows a thing or two about heartache and rivalry, offers Leanne a dose of tough love. Observing Leanne's state of mind, Tracy tells her that she's well rid of Nick and should focus on enjoying life instead of holding on to the past. Though Tracy's words are blunt, they seem to resonate with Leanne. Her emotional defenses soften as she processes the advice, and for the first time in a long while, she finds herself contemplating the possibility of moving on. Is she ready to let go of her resentment and anger toward Nick and Toya? Could Tracy's pragmatic perspective help her find peace? As Leanne continues to grapple with her fractured relationships and the mess she's created, Tracy's words serve as a turning point for her character. Leanne has spent so much time consumed by revenge and heard that she has failed to see the potential for a fresh start. Tracy's advice forces her to confront the possibility of accepting that some chapters in her life are better left closed. Leanne's journey has been a tumultuous one, filled with emotional highs and devastating lows. Her complicated relationship with Nick, which once appeared to be full of promise, was shattered by betrayal. The affair with Toya tore apart the family dynamics, and Leanne's desperate attempt to regain control over the situation through manipulation and deceit only pushed people further away. The recent fallout with Sam, her once close bond with her stepson, has left Leanne in a particularly vulnerable position. As she watches the people she cares about turn their backs on her, she's faced with the reality that her actions have consequences beyond what she had initially anticipated. In many ways, Sam's rejection feels like the most painful blow for Leanne, as their relationship was once a source of comfort and stability. Taking Sam out for a milkshake was Leanne's attempt to make amends, but her inability to fully let go of her anger and jealousy prevented her from taking the first step toward healing. Her negative comments about Nick and Toya served as a reminder of the wounds that still fester within her, preventing her from moving forward. Sam's quick exit only deepens Leanne's sense of loneliness and regret. Enter Tracy Barlow, a character who has never been shy about offering her opinions, especially when it comes to relationships and personal choices. Tracy's advice to Leanne is as direct as it is honest. She's better off without Nick, and she should stop dwelling on the past. While it's clear that Tracy doesn't mince her words, her perspective may be exactly what Leanne needs to hear. Tracy's own experiences with heartbreak and personal struggle give her a unique insight into Leanne's situation. Having gone through her own share of failed relationships and heartache, Tracy understands the importance of moving on and not allowing past mistakes to define the future. Her words may be a wake-up call for Leanne, encouraging her to shift her focus from resentment to self-empowerment. For Leanne, the realization that her vendetta against Nick and Toya has consumed so much of her energy is eye-opening.